Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kura Isagami, your resident tinker and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Well, it's so good to be finally back in action. I do have to apologize for my absence this previous week. I absolutely was not anticipating to be coming down with the COVID once again. Throat felt like absolute glass, and by the time Tuesday came around, I was feeling just a little bit better, but still got a little bit of a tickle left in my throat at time of recording, so feeling notably better, finally kicked it, but I do hope you guys all treated Delta nicely, as he gave you the news in my stead last week, as we tailed out the final week for the Gear Fighter DENDOH collaboration. This week, though, it looks like we're going to be going back to business as per usual, though, with the introduction of another model back from the days of Medarot 3, which seems to be a rather interesting particular theme that they've been going with over the last several weeks, leading through the half-year anniversary as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see what else comes out of this. But this week, though, we see the introduction of only one brand new model that is being introduced in Medarot S, with a couple of other similarly themed designs for the Moon Festival that is most likely to take place. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced for this week, starting with the gacha banners and who to expect in this week's lineup. Now, the first and only model, like I said, is a returnee from the days of Medarot 3, part of the Planetary series, and that is MON0F Meta Moon, with a kit of Reincarnate, All Repair, Super Repair, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Fix Plus. Now, ultimately, compared to all the stuff that we had in the DENDOH collaboration with all the brand new and really powerful skills, Meta Moon doesn't really bring anything new or particularly powerful to the table, just kind of your all-around mixed range kind of healer, between being able to provide healing to all allies at once, or a lot of extremely potent healing to a single ally, or even being able to resurrect fallen allies with a little bit of an extra buff. Only real weakness there is the fact that she can't restore broken parts, so she either has to heal them while they're alive, or wait for them to kick the bucket and then bring them back. But that is still a very useful rule all the same for what Meta Moon is bringing to the table. Aside from that, there of course also is a brand new Super Invasion that will be going live for Meta Moon as well. I highly expect we may possibly see other planetary models from Medarot 3 coming in future weeks, but that is kind of hard to anticipate given the rather interesting pattern, or lack thereof, I should say, as far as new releases and updates are concerned with models that Imagineer chooses to bring into Meta S. But another model that never had a 3D model before until now, it's always nice to see all the same. Now, kind of going with the moon theme that we have going on here for this week, we do have boosted rates for a couple other notable moon goddess types. The first of which, of course, is for ATM0 Fegaro Force from Medarot Duel, with Hyper Break, Power Sword, Static, Float Legs, and Illusion. And then we also have a true Artemis type that's been in the game for a pretty hot minute and still continues to make waves as part of the competitive meta, and that is GDS01 Artemis, with Rebirth, Laser, Guard 500, Float Legs, and Super Armor. So ultimately, between these two and Meta Moon, there is a lot of very powerful skills to be had, either between offense, defense, or healing, being completely honest. So realistically, you could even make a team of all three of these together as a highlighted banner and still have something fairly solid and pretty decently synergetic too, might I add, between offense, defense, and support. So ultimately, you really shouldn't be able to go wrong with anything that's going live this week. No meta change type models on the table for this banner, so really kind of a low stakes thing as kind of expected as we kind of wind down from the festivities of a recent collaboration. On the topic of the collaboration, as a friendly reminder, the banners for the models, Gear Ogre, Polar Vega, Unico Dendo, and Drago Ogre will be up for one final week before that does officially close. So if you are looking to possibly save some time or try to collect some models before they do go away, this is your final call. Please keep this in mind as you are working on things and looking through this week's banners as we start the month of October. For the Fierce Battles this week, it's going to be a pretty mixed variety males week specifically with all the models that we have available, which honestly works pretty nicely with a lot of very mid-range and mixed range utility parts between all the models that are available this week. Starting this lineup on this top row is DGD-0GO Death with Optic Guard, Double Sacrifice, Flight Legs, and Mirage. TOT-0 Yellow Turtle with Heater, Double Laser, Tank Legs, and Bullet Rain. And GMN-0 Gemini with Optic Guard, Wave, Hold, Wield Legs, and Adapter. On the bottom row, we have JOK-0 Shootboard with Heater, Beam, Power Rifle, Biped Legs, and Aim. MDR-0 Dawn Drill with Virus, Double Hammer, Biped Legs, and Rumbling. And KAB-0 Grade Kabuki with Triple Virus, Wield Legs, and Charm. So ultimately, like I said, it's a very mixed utility range week for mail bots as far as anything is concerned. And it is absolutely worth farming all 6 of them just to have in your libraries, but a couple models are a most notable trait as far as what's available this week. Ultimately, Shootboard and Gemini are the 2 really big ones that I push for, primarily for access to a free power rifle with Shootboard, and of course, Wield Legs with Adapter is really, really hard to argue. But to look over the others as well, Geodeath also is fairly solid for sacrifice builds if you do like to build around that with constant part and HP restoration. Yellow Turtle can be pretty solid for basic laser, and then Tank Legs with Bullet Rain for your shooters. Dawn Drill is going to be fairly solid for your conventional melee striking and AoEs for flushing out enemy leaders, and Grade Kabuki also is fairly good for Virus to turn skip any incoming enemies you can outrun. And, if you do need it, Legs with Charm does mean that anything against females will give you just a little bit more of a damage reduction as an added perk to you. So ultimately, like I said, Shootboard and Gemini are going to be the 2 really big ones this week, but just something to keep in mind and farm for all 6 of them when you have the time. Now, for business as usual, as we kind of go back into regular events and such this week, it's going to be a very busy and lucrative event as we get back to business as usual, like I said. This time around, we have the opportunity to earn 3 rerun medals and 3 rerun event rewards through a basic score attack event. So this is going to be a very, very easy one. Pure sets are encouraged for all your bonuses to guarantee you can pick up everything here. But on the table for this week, we have access to the Astronaut Medal, which is a Sniper Nature Medal with a mastery in shooting, healing, and setup, and leg masteries of Biped, Tank, and Float. We have the Phantom Medal, which is a Speed Nature with melee, support, and setup, and Biped, Floating, and Flight. And we also have the Grasshopper Medal, which is a Guard Nature Medal with melee, shooting, and healing, and Biped, Floating, and Sea. So 3 medals here on the table alone means this is going to be a very lucrative event that will be going live, because the more medals you have, the more flexibility you have when putting team builds together. Furthermore, we also have the opportunity to re-earn or collect, if you are still fairly new to the game, a lot of other previous returning event reward models, such as KNK-0 Kaso Tachu with Triple Canceller, Wield Legs, and Forester, LWT-0 Me Leviathan with Hold, Double Static, Sea Legs, and Rumbling, and WCH-0 Sun Witchy with Triple Slip, Float Legs, and Illusion. So this is going to be a very lucrative week, like I said, and because it is a score attack event, which means there really is very little you have to do. Simply just arrange a team with the highest bonuses that you can arrange as pure sets, or as mixed parts if you can allow it, and just basically farm all the way up to 1.5 mil points for all the bonuses available here. So I really don't think it's going to be super complicated and complex, and with 3 really good event reward bots and 3 pretty solid medals, this is an event you really are not going to want to skip out on. Now, something else as far as Meta S is concerned is that Cheerful Bunny's birthday is coming up here very shortly. So it is going to be very nice to celebrate a special day of debut for one of our resident MetaTubers. This time, Cheerful Bunny, of course, is going to be having her time in the spotlight. In light of that, do also expect that when her birthday does drop, there will be a special banner featuring all 3 of her forms, as you see here, and of course a login Ruby to celebrate her birthday as well. So it's going to be very exciting all the same, and I'm looking forward to seeing just what comes around the bend the closer we get to November and Medarot Day 2025. For October's PvP League and event skins, as you see here, we have 2 new ones and 2 reruns from previous months and previous years. Now, for the new skins that we have to celebrate the spooky season, that is October, we have an opportunity to see a Black Cat style skin for Mystery Cat, and a witch style skin for Takayashihime, who is one of the most recent batches of Ori Meta winners that was introduced in Meta S alongside Mystery Cat and Anahat. The rerun skins that are up this week as well will be a Unitress style Excise, so basically just a palette swap essentially, and the other palette swap, the Excise style Unitress skin, will be available in the convenience store skin shop for players to purchase with emeralds. Now, something else to mention is that all 4 of these models will be up on their own banner through the course of this next month of October as well, so they are not going anywhere anytime soon. Being completely honest, I actually really do like the alt skin colors on both Excise and Unitress. They actually look really, really cool. It is also worth noting that these are not the crafty mode versions, which are the specialized ones that they release with the alternative meta change modes. These are the conventional models that have the basic change modes relative to what's already in the current pickup banner. So just something to keep in mind for there as you are collecting toward any of these alternative skins. For Meta Survivor, on the other hand, it's going to be pretty much business as usual and fairly quiet in that front as well, with a refresh and reset of the Cheerful Bunny 2 and the Panzer Krieger event that just started this last week as well. I didn't really have much of a chance to say anything about it because, well, obviously I was not here because I was down sick and lost half my voice, but I really do kind of like the design for Panzer Krieger. It is kind of unique looking with that armored core kind of design that it was going for. And given that the original artist was, of course, really, really prominent in a lot of Gundam series and mobile suit designs, that is only to be completely expected. So, ultimately, nothing really to mention too much as far as Meta Survivor is concerned, just an essentially a refresh and reset of everything event-wise for more opportunities to earn extra diamonds and such for all your polls, or any extra limited resources you probably found yourself in need of. Moving away from game-related stuff, as always, we are continually looking for translators to assist us with any of our current ongoing projects or endeavors. This includes the Medarot 4 translation, the English translation, or any of the manga translations that are still ongoing. So if you are knowledgeable in coding or cleaning or Japanese and have some time on your hands, or if you perhaps know somebody that might be willing to lend a hand, definitely feel free to reach out and join us in our resident Discord, or even ask me as well. Link to the Discord is provided in the description below as well. We can get you in touch with the right people. Alternatively, if you do not have any talent to possess or would like to donate or even have time, you can also donate to the cause monetarily for a crowdfunding campaign that Variant has been holding on to and maintaining so that we can commission some extra lines of text to be translated. This in turn will make life just a little bit easier on the translator's part, so all they have to do is just typeset and clean, which makes things a whole lot easier in making everything look proper for all the English patches and updates as they work toward that master dump of all the text from Japanese to English. So again, feel free to reach out to me or join our Discord and ask around. We will get you on the right track and fill you in, or get you towards the right people to explain what's going on and what you can do to help. Also, as far as the community is concerned, this is our Week 2 flagging and heads up of the Ori Meta contest that is currently ongoing, going from September 16th to November 11th, so a solid 2 months that y'all have to work on original designs. There's a free-for-all prompt for this one, so there is no specific prompt or motive you have to follow. Basically, just let your creativity soar as you come up with original designs. And compared to previous contests, this one is a little more lucrative with a cash prize and, of course, the personalized concept arts drawn by yours truly. So we have a lot on the table for this one for y'all, and as a friendly reminder, there is a little bit of an extra condition with this contest based on the number of entries that have been submitted. If we can get at least 21 entries or over, I will arrange a panel of content creators, and we will go over all the designs on a stream and deliberate on winners in real time. Otherwise, I'll simply go over them myself and then handle the cash prizes from there going forward. But I am very excited for that, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you all come up with over the remaining month and a half that we have over the course of this contest. Join the Discord for all the links and the channels where you can submit all of those entries going forward. On the topic of art, as a final reminder before I do wrap us up, as I am always open for art commissions as well, No, I will not draw your original Ori meta for the contest. Nice try. But I am capable of doing live 2D models with the works, or at least ready to rig, 3D models with everything ready to go and optimized and rigged, standard art, emote bundles. I do just a little bit of everything basically between 2D and 3D. I like to believe my prices are fairly reasonable as well, so feel free to reach out to me on that. I will do just about anything as you see here, just minus anything NSFW or gore, so some very simple rules ultimately, especially with my emphasis on mecha, which weirdly enough, not a lot of artists tend to really want to do these days, based on my observations in a lot of the VTuber circles. So that might give me just a little bit more of an edge there. But again, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter, Discord, or Blue Sky to ask about that, and we can most certainly try to make something happen. But with all that being said, again, that does basically cover everything for this week's episode. So, like I said, it is going to be nice to be back to business as usual as far as Meta S and Meta Survivor is concerned. And it is very nice to be back on the showroom floor as well, officially back and giving you guys the news. I was not anticipating, of course, going down sick as bad as I did. Little bit of a sore throat. I probably would have been able to truck through it, but no, I was just feeling genuinely bad, and I apologize for that. But I do hope that y'all treated Delta nicely, and I will try to have Delta back on here sometime a little more often in the future, especially maybe say during weeks that maybe I'm just not feeling it, and you guys can still get your news and not have to worry that I'm skipping out on y'all. But that being said, if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page or the Metabots Forever community that I do run and manage, currently swelling over 51,000 members and still growing. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any new links to merchandise, fan art, contests, my weekly episodes, or anything else of the like. That is the first place you will hear it before it goes anywhere else. And of course, you can reach out to me personally on Twitter, Blue Sky, or Discord at IsakamIKura. So if you have any questions, concerns, suggestions, or if you'd like to either commission me or collaborate with me here on the MNN and have a guest appearance here on the workshop floor, I would love to hear from you and try to make something happen. But with all that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping in, just as you always do. And until next time, this is your host, Kura Itsugami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.